What were your expectations coming to Canada about what it would be like to live here and work here?
I think I was the most unprepared of immigrants. I had no clue really. And because I was a busy professional there, I didn't really get the time to sit down and plan my move. Although there was arguably one of the biggest decisions I've ever taken in my life, so I was very ill prepared, and that is something that I advise to my mentees: always be prepared before you take the big leap of faith. Get in touch with the right people through LinkedIn or otherwise, and have those initial critical mass of connections going for you so that you can speak to somebody the day you land or the first week. That didn't happen for me, so it was a steep learning curve.
Okay. So, yeah, in what ways did you feel unprepared? Like, I guess now looking back, what do you wish you had done differently?
I wish I had actually started meeting people face to face earlier than I did. I probably spent the first 4 to 5 months applying for jobs online. That didn't materialize. There's this software called ATS, Applicant Tracking System, which is sort of a gatekeeper, and it keeps resumes from being shortlisted and landing on the table of the hiring manager just because you lack the required number of keywords on your resume. I didn't know that. So although I felt that I should be served a job offer on a silver platter because I had great experience, my resume wasn't quite there. So, for somebody who is banking on applying online, it is very important to have a relevant resume, the Canadian style resume, where you focus on what you have achieved over the past years, not just your job description, and talk about things that are relevant to the particular job that you're applying for.
That's interesting. You bring up the Canadian resume. So I know because I've been on the recruiting side and hired from different countries. But from coming from Pakistan, how will you compare those two? What's a Pakistan resume versus a Canadian resume? What are some of the differences?
Oh, there's a lot of a lot of differences. Pakistani resume is more like a CV. It's a 4 to 5 page long document where you list everything from where you live and the entire job description for every position you have had in the past, including internships. So it was difficult for me to slash half of that out of my resume. In Canada, you need to focus more on the relevant things which would help you position yourself as the ideal candidate for the position you're applying for. So, regardless of whatever you have done in the past, focus on the things that are valuable for your potential employer. So, for example, in my old role, I had done a bit of work with a wholesale bank. So, corporate banking was something irrelevant for the position I was applying for. So, I reduced that to just a couple of bullet points. Similarly, I spent 4 years in technology project management. It was hardly a couple of bullet points to talk about that. So, it's important to step in the shoes of your potential employer and think empathetically from their behalf. I have been a big, supporter of physical networking, which tends to be a bit difficult in these days of the pandemic. But still, I encourage everyone to reach out to people who you can, share your experience with, who can help you navigate the job market. Because it has to be a two-way street in the end. Make sure that you are ready to offer something valuable to anyone you reach out.
Okay, okay. I understand that. That makes sense. So let's say I'm just, landed in Canada. I don't know anybody except maybe, my brother or a family member who lives here. How do I go about making those connections?
I think finding people or groups who have something in common with you is a great place to start. For example, for me, and this is something that I advise a lot of people. So, for example, somebody coming from India or China, they should look for groups that are created by professionals from that country. So, on LinkedIn, for example, I advise people that you scroll down to the very bottom of everyone's profile and see what are the common elements on the basis of which you can connect with those people. It could be coming from the same hometown, same qualifications, same membership of organizations. It could be same alma mater, whatever that might be. So that is sort of a shortcut to creating great relationships because you have to start the conversation somewhere.
Well, thank you again, Majid, for coming. It was delightful to speak with you. And just thank you for providing so much insight and value.
Thank you so much, Rosie.